Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. The K-pop world is once again rocked by rumors that have left many Jikook fans in turmoil. Phrases like, "Is Jikook ending?" and "Jungkook doesn't want Jimin anymore?" are once again filling ARMY's timelines, especially those who have long believed that Jimin and Jungkook's relationship is more than just friendship. But what is really behind all these rumors? And why has the narrative suddenly emerged that a Korean woman will determine the direction of their relationship? Let's delve into this carefully, because the story of Jimin and Jungkook isn't just about gossip, but also about the closeness of two people who grew up together under the spotlight. Jimin and Jungkook have been side by side since their trainee days. They are not just colleagues, but also friends who share the same dreams, fears, and fatigue. They have grown together under the incredible pressure of the stage, the media, and even the often excessive expectations of their fans. Over the course of their long journey, they formed something more than just a working relationship. A deep closeness that sometimes led outsiders to misinterpret, or even convinced many that there was unspoken love between them. However, speculation has recently emerged that their relationship is starting to drift apart. Jungkook is seen alone more often, rarely mentions Jimin's name in live broadcasts, and their interactions in public are less intense than before. Many fans immediately assumed, are they drifting apart? Or even, does Jungkook no longer want to be with Jimin? But if we look deeper, perhaps this isn't a matter of lost feelings, but rather a natural phase in a relationship between two people developing into mature individuals with their own paths. Over time, both Jimin and Jungkook began pursuing their solo careers. Jimin, with his subtle and emotional charm through soulful songs, while Jungkook showcases a bolder, more sensual, and more open side through his work. They each represent two different sides of BTS: tenderness and strength, silence and courage. In such a situation, it's natural for them to have moments where the distance feels greater than before. But distance doesn't mean the end. Sometimes, it's precisely there that a relationship is tested to see if it remains intact, even if they don't always appear side by side. So where does the narrative that Korean women will determine Jikook's fate come from? It turns out it stems from the Korean public's reaction to Jungkook's recent self-presentation. Jungkook often presents himself with a more dominant, masculine image, closely aligned with the preferred concept of Korean women. Confident, strong, yet soft-spoken. Many netizens commented that Jungkook now fits the modern Korean woman type better, seemingly suggesting that he should pursue a real relationship, rather than just speculation about his relationship with a fellow BTS member. Comments like these may seem trivial, but to Jikook's fans, they feel like an attack. They feel that the Korean media and society are overly interfering in Jungkook's personal relationship narrative, as if his romantic or intimate choices must conform to public taste. However, from Jungkook's perspective, he may simply be exploring himself, experimenting, growing, and revealing a side that has been hidden for some time. Meanwhile, Jimin remains a mysterious figure. He rarely makes public statements about his personal life, but often shows subtle support for Jungkook through words, gestures, and even the way he speaks behind the scenes. On several occasions, when ARMYs ask about Jungkook, Jimin simply smiles a small, meaningful smile that's hard to decipher. A smile that makes many fans wonder, does the silence hide longing? On the other hand, some fans are starting to worry that Jimin's closeness is now just a memory of the past. They compare the Run BTS or Bon Voyage eras, where Jimin and Jungkook's interactions were always warm, full of laughter, and without any distance. Now, everything feels more formal. But this change may not be a sign of separation, but rather growth. Because in reality, Jimin and Jungkook are no longer two teenagers relying on each other in the dorm. They are two global artists who must balance their careers, public image, and privacy. Interestingly, amidst all the rumors, there are also small moments that make fans believe that Jikook is still close, just more cautious. For example, a quick glance at a concert, the way Jungkook smiles when he hears Jimin's name, or even when the two of them accidentally wear clothes of similar colors and styles. The little things such statements serve as a code for loyal fans, that no matter what the outside world says, their relationship isn't over.
그렇지. 그렇지. 얘랑
But why do topics like Jungkook doesn't want Jimin go so viral? The answer is simple. People always want to find drama in silence. A quiet, trusting relationship rarely attracts attention. But as soon as there's even a hint of distance, the public immediately assumes it's over. In the world of K-pop, where every expression can be interpreted 1,000 ways, it's natural that Jimin and Jungkook's every move is scrutinized with incredible intensity. However, if we look at their interviews and individual behavior, there's nothing that indicates hatred, rejection, or dislike. Jungkook frequently mentions that Jimin is the person he respects most because of his sincerity and perseverance. Meanwhile, Jimin has repeatedly stated that Jungkook is someone who always makes him proud. Such words couldn't possibly come from a relationship that's over. Instead, they're proof that the affection and respect between them still exist, just the way they express it is different. Another factor that muddies the waters is the social pressure in South Korea. In a society still conservative towards same-sex relationships, Jikook's closeness is often the subject of debate. Many support it, but many reject it, arguing it's not culturally appropriate. So, when Jungkook began to open up more to an international lifestyle and adopt a more publicly acceptable image, many tried to attribute it to a distance from Jimin, when in fact it could simply be a career strategy, not a personal issue. For true fans, love between two people isn't measured by how often they appear together on screen, but by how much they continue to support each other behind the scenes. And if we see how the two complement each other in interviews, or even watch them continue to sing BTS songs with the same feeling, it's clear that the foundation of their relationship hasn't been lost. We must remember that a true relationship doesn't always need to be proven in front of the camera. Sometimes, the deepest love lives in the silence. Jimin and Jungkook have been through so much together, from the difficult early days of their debut to the peak of global success. A bond formed through such struggles can't easily be over just because the internet decides so. So, is Jikook really over? Probably not. They are simply writing a new chapter in their long story, one where they stand as strong individuals, yet still carry each other's memories deep within their hearts. And as for, will Korean women determine their destiny? The answer is clear. No one can determine the direction of a person's heart except themselves. Love in any form is something that can only be felt by the two people experiencing it. In the end, rumors will always come and go, but what is real will always remain. Both Jimin and Jungkook know each other better than anyone else in the world. They may not always be together in front of the camera, but that doesn't mean they aren't connected. Like the stars in the night sky, they sometimes seem far away, but they still shine from the same place. And perhaps, beneath all the silence, there's still an unspoken message between them. A message that says, I'm here, even though the world doesn't always understand. Because in the end, it's not the world, the media, and no one else who can determine their story but themselves. Jikook isn't just a rumor or a fan theory. They are two people who once felt like a home for each other in a world full of noise. And perhaps, even though their paths have now parted for a moment, they will always be there for each other in a way only they know. Thank you for watching until the end. Army, no matter what happens, one thing is for sure. Jimin and Jungkook's relationship is always special, meaningful, and real in the hearts of their fans. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Do you think Jikook is truly distant? Or are they just protecting their privacy? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates about Jikook's story and other special moments. See you in the next video, where we'll continue discussing the emotional, loving, and mysterious story of two stars who always make our hearts flutter, Jimin and Jungkook. Stay tuned, stay kind, and keep believing in their bond.